From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aishah Ashraf. Our top story for today. In a dramatic turn of events, Elon Musk's team has orchestrated a raid on the headquarters of the United States Agency for International Development. Employees were notified that the facility will remain closed on Monday. Musk announced that President Donald Trump has agreed to shut down USAID. He called the agency Beyond Reform. USAID extends assistance to countries recovering from disaster, trying to escape poverty, and engaging in democratic reforms. Musk's Department of Government Efficiency teams accessed classified USAID files. Officials who resisted were placed on leave. USAID's sudden closure has sparked widespread speculation and concern. The incident adds another chapter to Musk's increasingly turbulent relationship with Washington. During a Next Spaces discussion, Musk revealed that he and Trump reviewed USAID's operations. He said that they concluded it should be dismantled. Musk compared the agency to a ball of worms and said minor fixes would not work. Trump criticized its leadership, calling them radical lunatics. Reports suggest USAID may merge with the State Department. Congressional Democrats are demanding input before any changes.
Well, right now, you've got Elon Musk, who's put a gag order on AID employees. He's turned off their communication systems. And again, this is an illegal action that they're taking.
And they didn't let you in?
No, they would not let us in because they had orders from Doge and Elon Musk not to. So people should understand that this has been an Elon Musk takeover of AID, and we need to stop them here.
In related news, two top security officials at the U.S. Agency for International Development have been placed on leave for denying access to Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. USA Director of Security John Voorhees and his deputy were suspended following the standoff. Meanwhile, the agency's website and social media pages have gone offline. The State Department has yet to comment. Global markets faced heavy selling pressure as President Donald Trump's new tariffs take effect this week. The U.S. imposed 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and 10% on Chinese imports. In response, Canada announced retaliatory duties on $105.5 billion worth of U.S. goods. China condemned the move and vowed to take countermeasures, including filing a complaint with the World Trade Organization. The EU also warned of a strong response, saying it would act firmly if Trump imposed tariffs on European goods. Wall Street reacted negatively, with the S&P 500 falling 0.5%, the Nasdaq 0.28%, and the Dow Jones 0.75%. Inflation worries grew as U.S. personal consumption expenditures rose 0.7% in December, surpassing expectations. The Federal Reserve signaled a cautious approach to monetary policy, fearing inflationary pressures. Energy and auto stocks were hit hard. Chevron shares tumbled 4.5%, while ExxonMobil fell 2.5%. Ford dropped nearly 1%, and cryptocurrency slumped. Bitcoin lost 4%, and Ethereum plunged 15%. European markets had mixed reactions, with Germany's annual inflation falling to 2.3%. The DAX 40 edged up 0.02%, while the FTSE 100 gained 0.31%. Asian markets slumped, led by a 3% drop in Japan's Nikkei 225. China's Caixin manufacturing PMI came in at 50.1, signaling weaker growth. Thousands of protesters gathered in Los Angeles on Sunday to denounce President Donald Trump and his administration's measures to combat irregular migration. The forced deportation operations and stricter border policies have left many people fuming. The demonstration, held at the historic Mexican marketplace, saw participants march onto the 101 freeway, temporarily halting traffic. Protesters chanted slogans and carried signs with messages against Trump. The Los Angeles Police Department warned residents of road closures, saying on social media the protest was unauthorized. Los Angeles, where 1 in 3 residents is an immigrant, is home to roughly 3.6 million migrants, 79% of whom are from Mexico and Central America. On January 20th, Trump announced a removal of the CBP One app, which allowed migrants to apply for legal entry into the U.S. Additionally, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement was granted authority on January 22nd to arrest irregular migrants in or near what were previously considered sensitive locations, such as churches, hospitals, and schools. Panama's President José Raúl Mulino has defended his country's sovereignty, rejecting concerns over Chinese influence on the Panama Canal. After meeting U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Panama City, Mulino assured that the canal remains under Panamanian control. Rubio, on his first foreign trip, warned that China's presence in the canal zone violates the treaty with the U.S. He said immediate changes are needed or the U.S. may take action. The meeting also covered immigration, with both sides agreeing on measures to curb illegal migration through the Darien Gap. That is a 60-mile stretch of rainforest that straddles the border of Panama and Colombia. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump accused Panama of breaching its agreement on the canal, saying the U.S. should take back control. He claimed Chinese language signs were being removed, but insisted Panama already had violated the deal. Mulino reassured Panamanians that no military action is planned and that the canal's neutrality remains intact. CDC censorship order sparks outrage. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we will be right back. Welcome back. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has ordered staff to retract journal articles to remove what are being called forbidden terms like gender, transgender, and LGBT. The move, linked to President Donald Trump's executive order, aims to align research with policies recognizing only two sexes. A leaked email revealed the directive, causing panic among scientists. Experts warned that it could undermine public health research, including studies on HIV and disease prevention. Critics say the order violates free speech and scientific integrity. Many CDC web pages on LGBTQ health and youth issues have vanished. Scientists and journalists are scrambling to preserve crucial data before it is erased. The confusion is spreading fear at the agency, with researchers unsure how to proceed. Some worry even mentioning health disparities could be deemed what Trump and his supporters call woke ideology and lead to job losses. The Israeli army has displaced almost 75% of Palestinian residents from the Tulkarem refugee camp in the northern West Bank. On January 21st, the Israeli army launched an assault on Jenin city and its refugee camp, killing at least 26 Palestinians. The offensive was later expanded to Tulkarem city, where at least 3 Palestinians were killed. Palestinian official Faisal Salama said almost 75% of the camp's 15,000 residents were forcibly displaced to the city of Tulkarem and neighboring towns. He said the Israeli army also shut down a Red Crescent Society office in the camp, depriving Palestinians of any medical services. In related news, the Israeli army converted 12 homes of Palestinians in the town of Tammun in the West Bank into military barracks. Speaking to Anadolu news agency, Tammun Mayor Najib Bani Odeh said the Israeli army on its second day of incursion pushed further reinforcements and bulldozers in the region. He said the army has so far destroyed more than a mile of the town's roads, including much of its infrastructure. Bani Odeh also said the army evacuated 12 families from their homes, turned them into military barracks, and setting up snipers on them. He described the situation in Tammun as dangerous, saying residents are living in fear and unable to leave their homes. He also confirmed the Israeli army is conducting a campaign of arrests and field interrogations, targeting dozens of residents in the town. Since October 2023, more than 900 Palestinians have been killed across the West Bank in attacks by Israeli forces and settlers. For the second day, the Israeli army has been carrying out raids and attacks in Tammun town and Farah refugee camp in the Tubas governorate. The escalation in the West Bank came after a ceasefire and prisoner exchange deal took hold in Gaza on January 19th. It followed 15 months of Israel's genocide in Gaza that killed more than 47,500 Palestinians. 5 government officials have reportedly been kidnapped in Kenya by gunmen from the Al-Shabaab terrorist group. The abduction took place in Mandera County near the border with Somalia. Mandera South Police Commander Julius Njeru told reporters the 5 regional administrators or chiefs were on their way from Wargadu to Al-Wak town in Mandera. That is about 705 miles northeast of Kenya's capital, Nairobi, and borders Somalia and Ethiopia. Chiefs in Kenya are government officials who work for the Ministry of Interior as local administrators appointed by the national government. They are responsible for maintaining law and order, coordinating security operations, and overseeing government programs at the grassroots level. The region has frequently faced security threats due to its proximity to Somalia, where Al-Shabaab militants operate. The largely porous border has allowed armed groups to infiltrate. President Donald Trump has ordered his first military action since starting his second term last month. A U.S. airstrike in Somalia on Saturday targeted an alleged senior ISIS terror attack planner. Trump claimed the terrorists were hiding in caves and posed a threat to the U.S. and its allies. Defense Chief Pete Hegseth said multiple ISIS fighters were killed with no civilian casualties. Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed welcomed the strike, calling it a sign of strong U.S. support in fighting terrorism. The attack took place in the Kalmiskal Mountains. The ISIS affiliate in Somalia remains active despite ongoing U.S. and Somali counterterrorism efforts. The strike comes as U.S. influence in Africa faces challenges, with Russia expanding its presence in the region. The United States has been conducting military operations in Somalia since 1992, including airstrikes, drone strikes, and ground raids. India has twice denied a visa to Indian-American activist Kshama Sawant, preventing her from visiting her ailing mother in the southern Indian city of Bengaluru. Her 82-year-old mother has been unwell for the past 2 years. The former Seattle City Council member alleges that the move is political retaliation by India's Hindu nationalist government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Sawant believes the denial is linked to her criticism of India's Citizenship Amendment Act. In 2020, she introduced a resolution in Seattle condemning the Indian law, calling it discriminatory. Her supporters have launched an online petition urging India to stop targeting activists. Sawant applied for an e-visa in May and June last year, but was rejected. In January, she sought an emergency visa to attend to her ailing mother, but there has been no response. The Indian consulate in Seattle took her passport, but has not yet returned it. Indian authorities have remained silent, saying visa decisions are a sovereign matter. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.